Well, I've been performing with Stage off and on. It has to be, well, it's got to be the mid-90s. Yeah. Yeah, 94, 95. I had to pick a best year was being surprised with, I call it the Miss Congeniality Award. I guess David still does those. Yeah, I was Miss Congeniality one year. I didn't even know that went on. And then I passed the baton the next year, and David got pissed at me because I spoke too long, and I was saying many of the things I gather he had already written, unbeknownst to me, That's what happens when you're a long-term survivor. You have so much to share when so many around you have kicked the bucket, So it's a very odd thing for me every year when Stage comes around. It's bittersweet. I hope to be performing this year if the number that David and I talked about works out that Byork Lee can do, who was in the original cast of A Chorus Line with me. It's a number that was cut out earlier on that basically no one My character, Richie, was partly my story and Candy Brown's story. Candy Brown was a Fosse dancer. She had done Chicago and she did Pippin, yada, yada, yada. And Candy and I were friends since Hello Dolly days, so she's been my good friend for years. She had done the two workshops, I guess, before the last workshop, before A Chorus Line went off to become A Chorus Line. And I didn't have a number. And the week before previews, Michael came to me sounding like a bad Joe Cocker, singing the cadence of how he wanted Candy's lyrics to go. He said, go home and make something out of this. So I came up with the melody in my bedroom that night using Candy's words because she was the Gimme the Ball story in the Midwest, where we're both from, of being in everything, and she was a cheerleader, yada, yada, all that stuff. But the melody is mine. That's another quietly held secret. Well, not so quiet now, huh? If this gets on there. Yep, I told it, I outed it. Too bad, Marvin. That was very Carol Cook of me just now. Without the cuss words. That we were only as a original New York cast for about 8 months. We opened, what was it, like by 8 months after we had opened, that May, we were out in San Francisco with the tour. And then we came to L.A. because the demand for the show was just phenomenal. Everybody wanted a piece of it everywhere. And Michael gave us the choice to stay in New York or come west. And most of us came west, For me, I had TV hopes in my mind. And I think most of us did at that time. I remember Michael saying to us once that most of you guys will not know what this experience has been like until many, many years later. You will know what it has actually been. And he was so right about it. It's an experience that I never had repeated since, and I had done 2 of the Broadway shows after that, but it had never, nothing was like that. Stage addresses the needs of services of people who drop the ball and become infected or become ill, God forbid that should happen, to at least keep public awareness that there is an organization out there doing it. Otherwise, I think people would totally forget about it as it is. Because you don't see the red ribbons in ceremonies that you used to see before, But HIV is going to be around for probably forever until somebody can find an actual cure. A doctor once said to me years ago, he said, Ron, the thing about HIV is that it doesn't care where it lives. It just wants the human body to have a host.